Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to the channel. Today we are here to do our discussion of Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, the live action edition. Whole lot of controversy surrounding this movie. A lot of people review bombed it without even going to see the movie. We're definitely not going to do that here. We just got done watching it in theater. I'm here to tell you what I enjoyed about the movie and what didn't really work out so well. So let's get right down to it, man. Rachel Zegler, the controversial actor that portrayed Snow White. A lot of people are not going to like her for the comments that she's made on social media. Not a lot of people are not going to like her for her skin tone. Racist. A lot of people are just not going to like her personality. I am only here to judge her based off of her performance of Snow White in general. And with that in regard, I can honestly tell you that I can see why Disney chose her. Girl acted her butt off. She really did. She has a virtuous singing voice that is up there with some of the best I've ever heard in a Disney movie, up there with The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. If I had to compare with the last live action princess movie, The Little Mermaid, I would say that Hailey Bailey's pipes are still a bit stronger than Rachel's, but she still absolutely held her own. You cannot take that away from her. She was definitely the star of the show. She was the title role's portrayal of how I feel Snow White should have been portrayed for virtuous little girls. I feel like it does a very good job of portraying 2025 society, of how we are supposed to be raising our daughters, of what we want them to be when they grow up. Virtuous, honest, positive, hopeful. Never letting the worst of an outcome determine who they are. Always looking towards the future. Always looking for a positive outcome of a situation. These are the virtues that we should be utilizing to raise our children. And Disney does a fantastic job of kind of rewriting Snow White as a character that portrays these virtues. Now, as I stated before, a lot of old people, a lot of people that like to fight on social media, and a lot of people that just like to hate stuff for no apparent reason, they're going to utilize what Rachel said on social media, because that's really all she did. She just stated what the story was going to portray, not the old school 1937 movie where she was literally just a damsel in distress and had to have the prince come out and save her. This version of Snow White is a fighter within her own right, and she ended up just wanting the best outcome for her people. That's really all you can ask for in a heroine in this type of movie to come out in 2025. I mean, it's literally almost 100 years later. So I think if we look at it from an honest standpoint of that regard, you kind of have to take the reality with it and understand that it's just not going to be the exact same movie of what you experienced in the 40s and the 30s. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we all know the internet at this point. You're going to get more positive algorithm feedback if you talk about negative stuff than positive stuff. It is what it is. I don't know why society is like that, but it's just the way of the world now. It's unfortunate, but if you want to make some money, you just got to be negative. It sucks, dude. But fortunately for you guys and for me, sometimes I go negative, but the vast majority of the time I go positive. And when something needs to be expressed as being positive, this is definitely on that fortitude for sure. Gal Gadot's portrayal as the evil queen, if I'm being honest, not my favorite. Honestly, I felt it was a little bit weak. Beautiful woman. There's no denying that Gal Gadot is one of our most beautiful actresses in today's society. Like I stated before on this channel, I loved her as Wonder Woman. Just her acting skills in this portrayal of this classic character, I wasn't feeling it. I figured I wasn't going to feel it. I kind of felt it before the movie started, and within her first line of dialogue, it just continued throughout the majority of the movie. She just doesn't really do a good job of portraying somebody that's trying to be evil. I just wasn't feeling it. And I don't know who on God's green earth at Disney told Gal Gadot that she could sing, but you will never, you will never do that again. Listen, hey man, I mean, that might be one of the weakest songs I've ever heard in Disney's 1,000 bajillion year history. I think I prefer Maui's You're Welcome from Moana. I think he even sung better than Gal Gadot's The Queen. It was terrible. Shit, man. There was no defending that at all whatsoever. You would never do that again, Disney. No, just don't. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. That's all I got to say about that. I do give her credit for portraying the fact that her and Rachel clearly do not like each other on screen. That is very apparent from their first shared scene together to their ending scene together. Clearly, these two actresses are not fans of one another. I don't know if that was acting or just them just being their true selves within the course of the movie. So I found that pretty funny. Man, honestly, man, her performance in this role is so weak. It makes me definitely want to think, like, was there anybody else in the running for this role? Did they just pull this name because they just figured it would garner some fans from maybe the DC comic book fandom or just fans of her in general to pull more of a revenue? I don't know what it was, man, but yeah, it was just rough, dude. And we got to talk about the dwarves. Like I mentioned before, if you've seen my previous Snow White videos, they look stupid from start to finish. The CGI on the dwarves was just not good, dude. I mean, they look kind of okay if they were standing still, but as soon as they started walking or moving or dancing, they just had like a floaty look to them. Them trying to do the choreography with the musical numbers and just their mannerisms and whatnot. It's just weird. You know, that definitely transfers better when they're cartoons for sure. But when you try to transfer something like that into live action, a bunch of old short dudes just, you know, gliding around like fairies and just dancing around, and I just didn't transfer well to the live action. I just wasn't feeling it, man. That's not to say that it ruined the entire movie, but I would definitely be completely lying if I didn't mention it, that it just rubbed me the wrong way. I still think in the long run they should have just got 7 actual real life dwarfs to portray the characters, but they just didn't. I think what Disney was trying to do, not necessarily get a reminiscent of how they appeared in the animated film. I felt like they were trying to get a reminiscent of how they looked and felt in the original storybook. You know, that's how they looked to me. It just didn't translate well for me. I'm sure some people are going to like them regardless of no matter what's said here or what's said anywhere. But for me, dude, this just sucked, dude. I did like Dopey's, when he finally talks. That was cool. That kind of brought a tear to the eye. But ultimately, though, and I also enjoyed like Grumpy's, kind of his grumpiness at the beginning kind of transferred into the, solitude that he felt for Snow White towards the end of the film. I enjoyed that as well. But other than that, I was just tired of seeing the dwarves on screen. Jonathan, the love interest to Snow White, doesn't really have any relation at all whatsoever to the prince. Just more of just a spiritual realization of him. He's more of a live action Flynn Rider, if I'm being completely honest. He is a thief that is a part of the king's secret army or whatever, and he's trying to help Snow White take back over the kingdom that the queen has stolen from them or whatever. He's good. I really enjoyed it, man. I really did. I'll tell you what, I was shitting on him in another video and kind of crapping on all of the other live action male performers from previous Disney live action movies, but they really shocked me with him. I really enjoyed his performance as Jonathan, man. I really did. He really played a great opposite to Rachel Snow White. I really enjoyed their chemistry. I really enjoyed some of their songs together as well. Their choreography, their dance choreography was really good as well. So he's got my vote, man. He is really a solid choice for the role and really provided nothing but positive influence to the film itself. This dude made me laugh. Go before I change my mind. It's the only thing I remember from him from the movie. Oh yeah, and he helped Jonathan escape from jail, and he was kind of like the first in line to congratulate Snow White after the victory. It's always why they got to be the black dude, man? Go. That's all I got to say. I like him though. He's cool. I enjoyed him. He was only in a few scenes or whatever, but he was the first one to kind of get Snow White to turn for her side, man, and I really enjoyed that. Truly, and the evil queen turned it to this evil bat that gave the poison apple to Snow White because she was just ruining everything. That was a really cool CGI transition. Probably some of the best CGI from the entire movie. Definitely enjoyed that way more than any of the dwarf scenes for sure. So I give them that much. Story is cool, man. Definitely a deviation from the original story. Kind of plays out the same until, Snow White meets her demise from the apple. I admit that scene, even though I knew it was going to happen, I knew the outcome of it, it still just touched me in a way that just really had my emotions going. I think if you just dealt with a lot of trauma and death in your life, even when you see scenes that you know that's going to happen and you kind of know the outcome of it, I think it's kind of hard to see a scene of a character meeting a terrible fate when you come to enjoy this specific character. At least that's just my opinion. So I enjoyed that portion of the movie for sure. So, of course, in the original film, you have the prince defeating the evil queen. In this version of it, Jonathan comes back once he breaks out of jail and gives Snow White the true love's kiss and brings her back to life. But I do want to take a second and just focus on the death scene of Snow White, the funeral per se. I'll tell you what, when the emotions really got to me was really when they focused on Grumpy. He tried to remain stern at first, and then once the emotions really got to him, the tears really started to fall, and I felt kind of that lump in my throat to kind of formulate for myself, because I definitely understand that standpoint. You try to, have that manly exterior output. It's tough for some of us to really showcase that emotion. So seeing him really just grieving her death, I definitely related to that a lot for sure. So I definitely appreciate Disney for putting a focus in on that. And when she comes back to life, I really appreciate them giving those lines to Dopey to let her know that they're on her side and they're with her to the end of the line, no matter what. That really brought out the emotion for me as well. So definitely two of my favorite scenes from the entire movie for sure. And then when they got back to the kingdom and they were able to gather all of the kingdom together to showcase to the queen to try to overtake the kingdom, it was kind of cool, kind of corny, all of in its own. She confronts the queen and she's like, I know these people, Martin. It was you and your father that would bake apple pies for my parents and pass it out to the kingdom when we would party for days. He's got like a knife to her chest and he's like, I remember. Listen, hey man, it's definitely when that strong, corny Disney influence comes into play for sure. But I mean, at the time of when I was watching it, I enjoyed it for what it was. So, like when I was just watching the movie with my heart, I was like, all right, this is cool. But once you let your brain start taking over, you're like, oh God, Jesus Christ, what is happening right now? But for our children and the little kids that are coming to see this movie, yeah, we all could come together as family and come together as a people. We can overtake or overcome any adversity that we can face together, which is true. It's very true. Definitely does a good job of giving our children the hopes and dreams that they need to progress into successful members of society, in my opinion. So ultimately, man, to kind of start to wrap up here, it's kind of shocked me, man. I thought I was going to go into this movie and just hate it from start to finish, but I am a Disney guy. You have to take that into account. We go to Disney World like 2 to 3 times a year, so there's definitely something for the core Disney fan. There's no denying that if you have your heart open to it. Now, if you go in with that old school, just brainless mindset or brain mindset where you've already decided to hate the movie before you've even seen it, then yeah, you're gonna hate it. If you just, go into it cold and heartless like that, open your heart up, you soulless bastard. Just saying. I mean, if you allow yourself to be influenced by social media and the internet, then that's just how it's going to play out, man. I know that sometimes I make videos to try to be funny when I talk about these kind of films like this, but ultimately when it comes down to it, this is my true feelings of how I felt about the movie after I actually saw it. So, and with that, we'll end it there, man. So what I want to know now is how you felt about it. Did you enjoy it or did you hate it? Have you even seen it? Are you just hating on it without even seeing the movie, or have you seen it or just didn't like it? Are you 50-50 on it like I am, or did you love it from start to finish? Let me know in the comment section below, man. I really want to know. If you wouldn't mind just going ahead and typing that up and putting that in there, that would make me happy. And if you want to see more content like this, you know what to do. You can hit the subscribe button. We cover all of the Disney movies, all of the Pixar movies, all of the blockbusters, Transformers, DC, Marvel. You know what we do here, man. So you can follow me at youtube.com/marjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, thank you for the support, and I will see y'all on the next one. I'll catch y'all later. Bye. One more time, say it out with me. Gal Gadot, please never sing again. Thank you.